Hello and welcome to another unboxing video, and today we're going to be looking at the Custodian Wardens. Now the Custodian Wardens are the elite version of the Custodian Guard essentially. They have different equipment options. They can't take storm shields but instead can take the new Custodians. Now a reason why a lot of people like these new miniatures is because they look more like what Custodians do in the 41st millennium, with them wearing cloaks and robes on their armour, as opposed to the 30k Forge World style guys who are just wearing the armour without any robes. So, this box, you get 5 guys. You can either build it as a squad of Custodian Wardens, or you've also got options to build a Vexilis Praetor and a Shield Captain, which I think I'm going to be doing. So, on the back, you get a breakdown of what to expect in the box. It tells you what each of them are, with Castellanaxes, and the Misericordia, the Shield Captain there, the Vexilis Praetor, and just detailed shots across. And these are the Gilded Champions of Terror. And then, finally, we have the armour, just in case any of you are looking at how to paint gold or anything of the sort. So, we look in, it is 2 sprues. I get the feeling this is going to be very similar to the standard Custodian Guard Squad. Now, I've just dropped off the bases on the floor. So there should be 5, but I've just dropped one. So there's your 4 bases here, 2 sprues, and instructions and a rule book. So first things first, let's jump into the main event and look at the sprues. These look awesome. I've got no word for them other than that. They are incredibly well detailed, really crisp. I can't see any issue with the models. It's a nice cloak there for the Shield Captain. Just have a look at the other side if there's any details over here, like the other side of the Castellanaxes and the Guardian Spears. The legs are all sculpted. These helmets are pretty cool. Here, let's see if we can get it in focus. So, with the eagle spreads, they do look different from your standard Custodian Guard. We got the second sprue, so that was the legs and stuff. This is the bodies of the other set, as well as the Vexilis. So the Vexilia. If my pig Latin is correct anyway. Again, these all look really good. There's enough shoulder parts here to build the full squad, as you'd expect. Counting them out, if I'm looking at them, I might be going blind, but there isn't any special shoulder guard for the Shield Captain, it looks like. There's just 5 of each. Oh, never mind, I was going blind. There is a cloaked one here. So you technically have a spare eagle shoulder blade if you wanted to put that on someone else. Now let's have a look into the instruction book. As it's becoming expected with this, it's a full colour CAD style one. So lots of options. Custodian 1A, how to put them on. There's no specific parts for anyone. Warden B, C. And then you're talking about either making a Vexilis Praetor or a Custodian Warden D. Again, if you've watched my other Adeptus Custodes unboxings, you'll know that in the original box, I didn't like the fact that the instruction books only told you how to make the Vexilis Praetor, as he'd be known as now, and the Shield Captain, and there wasn't the instructions to make just 5 standard Custodian Guard if you wanted to. There was the option in the kit itself, but there wasn't the instructions. Now you could figure it out just from the pieces that weren't being used, but it's something you just expect to be there. Now I don't know if that's still applied to the new box, because I've got 3 boxes of the Horus Heresy style ones, 2 of which I haven't even opened yet, so I'm not in any dire need for more standard Custodian Guard. So maybe further down the line, if I do pick up another box, I'll bring it up and just talk about it. So yeah, we got the Vexilis, so you build step 4 standard, and then you're either attaching that part, or you're giving him just an arm. And it's again with the Shield Captain and the Custodian Warden E. You have the option, they're built more or less the same, but you've got the options to do slightly different. I will be helmeting mine, however. I like helmeted guys, to be completely honest with you. I just like the way it looks on the tabletop. But yeah, all standard. Okay, so the meaty gritty of it all. Custodian Wardens, they are standard custodian power. Start line with an additional attack. They have the Custodian Axe or the Guardian Spear shooting options, which are identical, it's just because you've given them different weapons. And then you can either have the Custodian Axe in melee or the Guardian Spear in melee. Now the Custodian Axe does cost more, but gives you +3 strength, boosting you up to strength 8. But it is only AP -2, still keeping the D3 damage. Whereas the Guardian Spear is only +1 strength, but is AP -3. So you're trading the armor penetration for the strength bonus. And again, they can also take the Misericordia, allowing them to make an additional attack. It's their equivalent of a chainsword. They all come with Custodian Axe as standard, but you can swap it for a Guardian Spear to lower the points. So they've got AG of the Emperor, which is their 5+ invulnerable, 4+ invulnerable if it's a Custodian detachment, and a 6+ save against psychic mortal wounds. They've also got the Binding Oaths. Roll a d6 each time a model in this unit loses a wound, on 6 damage is ignored and that wound is not lost. So essentially these guys are going to be incredibly tough. They've got a 2+ armor save and either a 4+ or a 5+ invulnerable save, and then on top of that, if you fail it, you get to make a 6+ save. And they've got 3 wounds each. They're going to take a while to chew through this. And then there's your standard shield captain, which I don't think we've looked at yet because we haven't had the options. So he's 1 wound down from the Alaris captain. Just do this so we can get it a bit better. He's got the same number of attacks, I think. I'd have to have a look. I'll check to be certain. And then he, like them, I've got the Custodian Axe, Guardian Spear. He's also got the option for a Sentinel Blade and a Storm Shield, etc. But you can't build that from this kit. Though it looks like the arms are interchangeable, so if you wanted a shield captain with Storm Shield and a Sentinel Blade, you can 100% do that just by taking it from a Custodian Guard squad. Again, I will check that because I don't want to be giving out false information, but it looks like the attachment points are more or less universal. The war gear options, he comes with a Guardian Spear standard, which you can swap for a Sentinel Blade or a Custodian Axe. He can also take a Misericordia, and if he's armed with a Sentinel Blade, he may take a Storm Shield. Yeah, there's not much of that to it other than he's got the Inspirational Fighter, and it just tells you that the Storm Shield gives him 3+ invulnerable save. I'm not sure if that's as essential now, just due to the fact that you can hide characters behind units. It will make the difference in CC, but you do also have the option to take the Relic for a 3+ invulnerable save for free, and still being able to keep a choppy, killy character. But again, no, it's options. You build your characters as you want, because these guys are tough. They will shrug off a lot of small arms fire, just because the strength 4 to strength 5, toughness 5. People say it's not a lot, it falls to 5, but it essentially removes it lowers the chance of being wounded from 50% to a third. Again, that's preferable odds in my opinion. They've really got to focus down to put wounds onto these guys, especially the Wardens. These are going to be an absolute bugger to deal with. I've got no other word for it. They're going to be tough and they need to be dealt with. Especially for a unit that doesn't cost too much more than a base Guardian squad. Yeah, I won't discuss point values here, but it's not as much as you think, I think, between the two. It's just these guys are in the elite slots with the Alaris Terminators, and I really am looking forward to running them, as well as Vixilis Praetors, etc. So the elite slot is very competitive for the Custodians. So I'm not quite sure if these guys make the cut, but I'll be surprised if they're not included in forces, because these are just souped up Guardian squads. But yeah, so that is the unboxing part of this video, running almost up to 10 minutes, despite my promise before I started filming to keep it shorter. So as per standard with my unboxing and model reviews, this isn't going to end here. There's going to be a jump cut once I finish talking, and we'll come back to the fully built squad and we will discuss the build process. And here we have the fully built Custodian Warden squad. Now, I opted for a 3-man Custodian Warden team, one with a Custodian Axe and 2 with Guardian Spears. A Shield Captain with Guardian Spear, who's going to be my kind of cheerleader, cheap cheerleader, HQ buff guy around, well, cheap for Custodians anyway, so I give him like the cheapest weapon options, etc. And also a Vexilis Praetor here. Now, the Vexilis Praetor comes with a sculpted banner. He's slightly offset on my base, I don't know why. Perhaps I put the arm on slightly wrong, but hey ho. Now these guys, they went together quite simply. I can't think of any real issues I had when building them. If something does come to light as I'm recording this, or after I've recorded this and edited, I'll add it in the description down below. So, let's start with the standard squad. Now, the Custodian Axe guy, he is really cool. I decided to make him the front man of my squad, almost as if he's the sergeant, or the old shield captain. I liked his pose, so he's the more aggressive guy, hence the axe. These guys, I really like the models and the sculpts. There is a bit of a line gap that's going to need to be filled with some green stuff once I'm coming to painting and priming these guys. But other than that, similar to the other Custodians, everything is hidden beneath a solid piece. Yeah, but extremely well detailed, no complaints. Then we've got stand around guy. Again, very nice sculpt, very crisp and details. It's that line again. This one, because he was the second one I built, I decided to use a bit more plastic glue just to try and let it run into the recess, and then I wiped it down to see if that would help seal the hole. Instead, all it's done is give me a rise that's going to need to be filed down. Yeah, again, no complaints. The Guardian Spears are really crisp and cool. Yeah, and then we have the other one, which is an almost Engard with Misericordia. Speaking of Misericordia, I just thought of a complaint I had while I was building these guys. The Misericordias to attach to these guys are painful. The Alaris Custodians have got a dedicated slot sculpted into the Misericordia to attach them to the back of belts and stuff. These guys don't really, they've just got like a bit of a flat edge you need to try and attach to either the cloaks or stuff. And I just feel like it's not going to be a particularly strong hold. But unfortunately, due to these guys coming with it standard, it's got to be included. So yeah, those are the 3 Custodian Wardens. Then we have the Shield Captain, easily identifiable due to his long cape. Again, there's a few more gaps on this one just because of how it's built. There's a bit where you have to attach the shoulder blade, the shoulder guard or the pauldron to the back of the cape there, and there's also one there. But really, no complaints building this guy. When I was building these, I said beforehand that it looks like you can take parts from the other ones to attach these. I stand by that, apart from the fact that these guys, their arms have got slots and stuff in them, and their shoulders. But it's easily something that can be clipped off just for this. Another thing is they've got a slightly different helmet design. The eagles are, if I can get that to focus anyway, the eagle design on them is a lot more wide wing and thrown back. And then finally we have got the Vexilis Praetor, sorry. Now, this guy has a sculpted banner. I do believe it's slightly different from your standard Custodian Guard one, and it is definitely different from the Alaris Custodian one. So, again, yeah, no complaints from me on these guys. And this guy, I'm thinking potentially getting another one of these, or I'll just use the ones I've already got from the unopened box of the Horus Heresy style ones, so just so they can look slightly different on the battlefield. But yeah, so that is the model review. They get a solid thumbs up. I really do like these sculpts. If you're running a Custodian Force, I'd really recommend these, even if it's just for the banner and the Shield Captain, just to get a bit more official Shield Captain look. But these are a strong unit that ultimately doesn't come up as a lot more expensive than a standard squad. Of 3 once you take the points into account. I think it comes down to ultimately, once you fully equip them, it'd be like a squad of 3 versus a squad of 4. So it's that trade-off, but again, like I said earlier, my big complaint about these guys is they're in the elite slot, which is going to be a very heavily contested place for the Custodians, I believe. But anyway, and this has been That Welsh Nerd. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, share with other Warhammer 40k fans to bring the light of the Emperor into their lives. Comment your thoughts down below in this box, and I will see you in the next one.